What is going on, everybody? As you can plainly see, we are -3 of our normal village idiots. Don't tell them I said that. But we do have everyone's favorite tank remaining here, so say hi.
Hi, Nora.
So this is going to be a little interlude session for those of you who did tune into issue 2.4, Whispers of the Golden City, the other night. You may have noticed that we were definitely missing an Anton, and well, this is going to be why we were missing an Anton. So this is for those in the chronological order of things, or the issue order. This is issue 2.4.5 or 2.4 TAC A, whatever you want to call it. But this is a once and future hero. So at the end of last session, which was 2.3 for you, you were retreating into the research area of Stormbreaker Tech to try and figure out what the heck you were wearing around your neck.
Hub. Search. Amulet.
You're going to have to be slightly more specific than that. You know how many amulets I'm going to bring up?
Scan the one around my neck.
Nice little, like, one of those little, like, laser gun scanny things come out just because of... Next thing you know, it's like a little holographic image of it spinning around in the middle of the research room. From everything I see, it seems to be a medallion shaped in what is known as an everlasting knot.
Any information on medallions and rocks forming out of your hand?
Have you been eating the otter's Swedish fish?
I ate the otter's cooking.
Hey, the one he made the other day wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't, but the rest of it's been questionable.
Fair enough, we'll get him cooking lessons.
No, so... This object appeared here. Well, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Security sweep of Anton's room dating, well, I guess the last 2 months. People entering.
That's the rewind, by the way. And you're getting the playthrough, and what appears to be a couple of days before you guys get back, you definitely catch what appears to be a figure, knowing exactly where the cameras are, so his face was kept hidden, entering into the room. And obviously there's no cameras in the actual rooms proper, so takes him about 30 seconds, obviously just enough time to place the note, and then leaves. But the entire time he's here, he definitely knows where the cameras are.
Does Anton notice anything about his build, shape, or anything that looks familiar?
No.
Okay. So someone was here.
Go ahead and give me an insight check. Yeah, no.
No.
To be fair, you would have had to get ridiculously high on that check to get that.
That's fair. So just, I guess, Anton's going to take the amulet off and set it down just to kind of further examine it up close and see if there's any markings or any kind of indication on it.
Anton.
Hello?
Anton.
Who's there?
It's only me, Anton. What are you talking about? There's no other noise.
I'm hearing this whispering. It's saying my name.
There's been nobody whispering. Not at all.
I'll pick the amulet back up and continue examining it. Are there any additional markings on it or any noticeable symbols in it?
Nope, just still looks like an everlasting knot.
Alright, well, I'll put this on and we'll go see what everyone else is up to.
Oh, for the record, additional research on the Endless Knot claims that it is a symbolic knot of one of the 8 auspicious symbols in Mongolian. The Endless Knot has been described as an ancient symbol representing the interweaving of the spiritual path, the flowing of time and movement within that which is eternal. All existence, is said, is bound by time and change, yet ultimately rests serenely within the divine and the eternal.
You know you could have led with that, Hub.
The internet was being slow.
Time. Wait. No, it couldn't be. Nah. Anton's going to take the amulet and head back to his room with a couple of books on time and earth, kind of magic type books.
Those are very, very hard to come by in a technological medical research facility, which is effectively what Stormbreaker Technologies is.
Okay, so I'm going to buy them on a Kindle.
So you,
Mr. Casey, may I use your credit card? I need to hit the Amazon store.
you do realize that we have multiple credit accounts, right? You're fine. This is Hub talking, by the way.
Put them on the Kindle.
Yep. So Hub finds you a couple of books that he thinks will work. First one is Time Travel and You: A Beginner's Guide. Then you have H.G. Wells' The Time Machine.
Come on, Hub. You didn't pick Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
That's the next one downloading. And Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy comes up, along with Hub's favorite, along with one that he says, give this one to Lutra. It's So Long and Thanks for All the Fish.
Okay, yeah, that good one. I'll make sure the Otter gets that one.
You get a couple of more books, but even through Amazon, like, these are all at best theory-based fiction craft as to what could possibly happen with time travel, or you get the bare bones of people claiming that magic exists because they've seen a couple of superheroes do things that qualify under the category of unexplainably supernatural. But anytime said heroes have been interviewed, there is always a logical explanation for what they were doing. Not that it's saying that magic doesn't exist, but that anytime people have thoroughly seen it, it's sort of been able to be explained away.
So Anton's gonna, read through these books and let's see. It's just, he's gonna go down to the gym now, I guess, and try to reactivate the powers on a punching bag.
You get nothing. You punch a punching.
So why did this happen? Like, I was able to swing and it just turned to stone. Why can't I make it do it now?
Tempest Eider.
What was that?
Anton.
Hello?
Tempest Eider.
Tempest Spider? What? Who are you?
As you say those two words, the medallion sparks and glows.
That's not
And
normal.
envelops you in a earthly blue light.
Dad, can I get my sunglasses on first? Hey.
And the next thing you know, when the light fades, if you pay attention to the sort of scene I have up on Roll20, you're in the middle of this island with two people staring at you. One who looks like he's in some sort of trance, and the other one who looks very familiar to you, but in a much older state. Go ahead and give me an insight check as I show you the picture. So the person who seems like they are in the trance you don't recognize, but the other one looks like an older version of Casey's nephew, Ben.
Ben?
It worked? He's like shocked. It worked?
Where am I? Where? What?
So at this point, the person who is in the sort of trance, sort of his eyes stop going green, and sort of his sort of head sort of tilts back, staring at you. Mr. Wolf, welcome to Bouvet Island.
Bouvet Island?
Yes.
Who are you? And why am I here? And could you have at least warned me to get a jacket?
Time was of the essence. But you do see a small smirk as he says that. You can call me Zephyr. I see you already know Mr. Benjamin over there.
We've met, but
Yes, you met 15 years ago,
yeah, what?
in 2008.
15 years ago. I'm 15 years in the future?
Bouvet Island, August 2nd, 2023.
Why did you bring me into the future?
Because the initial plan of just giving you the amulet didn't change ours. So we figured we would teach you how to use it.
So, you gave me the amulet?
Well, a third. We sent a third of ours back to give it to you. Unfortunately, he's still stuck in your time frame.
So, three of you sent the amulet to me. Why? What happened?
Because, according to records, late May 2008, 13 pillars of light leapt out of the Bermuda Triangle. Each one of those 13 pillars contained the spirit of something horrible.
Yeah, I'm familiar with them.
They refer to themselves as braves. Each one of them representing different aspects of elements, the mind, soul, body. And you guys, unfortunately, can't stop them. Don't stop them. Our future is now dystopian. We've been fighting and struggling and messing sort of with the timeline is our only hope that we could come up with after every other avenue has been tried.
Isn't that...
You losing your armor was a catalyst point. you couldn't help with the fight. So we spent time and we found a way to give you a fighting chance.
Isn't messing with the timelines dangerous?
Depends on what you mess with.
And why should I trust you?
Why do you think I made sure there was somebody you knew here? And the answer is, I don't have a good reason. But know that this is a last gasp effort for us. If you don't learn how to harness control the medallion, then our future is gone.
Well,
as he's talking, go ahead and give me an insight check, which seems to be the check du jour today. You'll notice that there are two emotions heavily riding or riddling his verbiage: sadness and anger.
so my armor disappearing in the triangle is the catalyst of this carnage. I'm not able to fight the 13, but what happened? Like, what happened to Lutra, to Malkier, to Phantasm? What was the result there? They
At this point, Ben's going to speak up. When you guys got back from the triangle, it was just the three of you. And you never managed to find Phantasm. So it turns out to just, with you with no armor, and with just Malkier and Lutra, it's not pretty. I mean, Uncle Thomas goes so far at that point to infuse himself with nanotechnology to try and help out the one thing he was vastly opposed against.
Well, I'm not. We found Phantasm. We got out of there. Lutra was saved by the amulet that should have changed the timeline.
It did, but not for the better. Things have actually gotten worse.
How did they get worse?
By saving Lutra and finding Phantasm, you accelerated a timetable. Their leader, who just calls himself the Master, accelerated his plans, and we are much worse off now than when we sent the amulet.
So what's to say that showing me how to use the amulet will make this any better? Is this going to be just fruitless anyway?
We hope not. But there was no other option. I mean, we've all lost so much that... And he just sort of lets that hang on the air.
Well, we're not losing any more.
Right. And our time is short. So let's to understand how to use the medallion. As you probably figured out, it's definitely magic in nature.
Yeah, Hub struggled to figure out even what it was.
What it is an offshoot of the aspect of Earth, a medallion representing the ideals of the element.
The aspect of Earth?
Yes, the aspect of Earth. Each element and everything that exists in the world has a primal magic component to it. The primal magics are the base of where all other magic is based off of. There's the primal magic of the elements, the primal magic of the soul, the primal magic of creation. There's all kinds of them. But they were initially worshipped on shrines and altars. But once people realized what they were, greed got the best of people. People would try to obtain the magic. Great wars were fought over them. Eventually, the magics themselves decided that they were going to pick their own successors. So the magics themselves pick who becomes an aspect. Aspects created the medallions. Medallions are an aspect's way of passing along some of their abilities to people that they choose.
So, what you're saying is I've been chosen by the aspect of Earth.
No,
No?
you've been chosen by the aspect of wind.
Who's the aspect of wind?
To demonstrate, he manifests a small tornado in his hand.
Oh. You're the aspect of wind.
Zephyr. It means wind.
Yeah, it does.
And the reason you have the medallion of the everlasting is because that's the only one we could find. Believe me, if I could give you the medallion of freedom, I would. But I don't know where it is. I've spent numerous years looking for it.
Do you know where these medallions might be in our time?
No, I don't. But if you can find them, they might be able to turn the tide. But as it is, to understand magic, you have to know that everybody has the ability to use magic. It just takes a lot of inner focus and willpower. What the medallion does is it amplifies your ability to use it. So I'm guessing that the first time you were in a dangerous situation with it, it manifested in something you're familiar with, did it not?
It manifested into my armor, more or less, at the start, and then a giant club that I smashed some guy over the head with.
Ben smiles. Club's kind of like a hammer, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So this is back to Zephyr. So basically, treat the medallion like you treated your armor. You knew everything about it. You knew what it could do, what it couldn't do. What the medallion will allow you to do is the same thing. It will allow you to do what you need it to do. The protective aspect of it is always on. Go ahead. Try it.
Kind of looks at
Think about your armor. Think about what it looked like, what it felt like, what it smelled like.
So Anton's standing there and kind of just this disbelief, as everything he's known has been mechanical and technological, and he's just kind of like he's trying to get that out of his mind and focus on kind of what that armor was like.
And it takes him a little bit, as he sort of is still overwhelmed by the technological thought, the smell of the oil, the creaking joints. But as he slowly starts to remember this, the sort of rocks in the area start to do that whole sort of fluttery thing. And then it takes about 2 minutes. But the loose dirt and particles and rocks in the area sort of attract themselves to Anton like he is a magnet. And they form a very rocky, stony colored version of the armor he used to wear.
Oh, wow. That is awkward.
Yes, but let's see, and just to prove to you that it works. As he says that, Ben launches forward with the swallowtail sword he is holding and attacks you with.
And
I'm
Anton,
assuming a 20 hits.
what's that hit against?
Parry.
Oh yeah,
What's your parry score?
6.
Alright, so you'll have to make a DC 23 save as he comes right at you with a swallowtail knife.
And that's toughness, right?
That is toughness.
Oh yeah.
And the sword just bounces off the armor harmlessly.
Okay. Okay. That's the thing. Can at least I didn't break your sword. You might need that.
There's a smile on both of their faces. But defense is the easy part. Your body naturally does that. You've already know how to create the hammer, or the club, or whatever it is. Go ahead. Do it again. Remember, think about the hammer in your hands, what it felt like, what it smelled like, the cracking noise it made up against something's skull.
So Anton's gonna kind of look at his hand and start to kind of swing it. You know, it's still got the stone armor, and as he swings, this giant maul comes out and is just kind of swinging in their general direction.
Yeah. They, because you were just sort of wantonly swinging it, as opposed to trying to actively hit them, you come awfully close to hitting both of them, but they do both manage to very, very acrobatically dodge out of the way.
Oh, I thought y'all wanted to see how it worked.
Yes, but that doesn't mean we want to get hit by it.
So I get it'll defend me, and I can swing a club. What else does it have?
Whatever you can think of. Let me show you. And he's just going to sort of do some weird hand motions, and then the next thing you know, there are dual twisters sort of rolling around you. Just sort of circling around you like twin tornadoes. Not coming after you, just sort of rolling around you.
Having fun with your little win there?
I'm just showing you that you have full control of your element. If you can think it, you can do it. Try something basic. He points to a pile of rocks. Turn those rocks into a door.
Into a door?
Yes. Remember what I've been saying. Think about what a door looks like, sounds like, smells like.
I know what they smash like. So Anton's kind of looking at the stones and trying to imagine the door up at the top of the roof that he smashed so many times that Casey's just left it open. And uses stone
So,
shape.
as your hand sort of points out towards the stone, they sort of do that sort of shutter thing again, and then they all sort of change magically into, well, the last vision you remember of the door. It's definitely the door, but it's got a giant dent in it.
Hey, look. It's the door on top of the tower.
Ben just sort of looks at you. Do you know how many times we had to have that fixed?
A few.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens when you deal with the guy in a giant mech suit.
Now you've made the door. Now move the door.
Move the door.
Move the door. Keeping the door intact. Move it from the side of the circle of clearing it's on, to the other side.
So Anton's kind of looking at the stones and trying to figure out, like, moving a door is different than making a door appear.
Right.
And finally, kind of,
But
as he's standing there, he finally starts to think about moving the door. And then you could describe the door.
and again, it sort of does that sort of shuddery, shaky thing, and then next thing you know, it sort of just moves a straight beeline path. You know, like in the cartoons when you ring the dinner bell and it's like dinner time, and whoever's out playing just sprints with like fire on their backside going towards that direction of the food.
Yeah.
That sort of happens with the door. It just creates a massive cloud of dust and just moves to the other end of the clearing.
I like this. This could be fun.
There are many. Remember that there are many other things that you can do. Remember what Earth does. It's hard. It's immovable. But it also can cause decay, can cause rot. As long as you understand the things that Earth can do, the only limit to what you can do with the medallion is your own creativity.
So the earth can rot, you say?
Yes. Think of what the earth does to bodies. It decomposes them.
Do you have anything? We're on an iceberg. You got anything fun around here to play with?
Just a couple of dead trees.
So Anton looks at the trees and he's kind of thinking, and then he's like, okay, so I just have to envision these trees rotting, you say?
That's the basis of it. So you envision the tree rotting to the point where you see it. It's basically, it's got that sort of wintry tree look. Now, I know you don't live in a state that has winter, but it's got that sort of all the leaves falling off the tree, sort of bare. It's just sort of like a sad tree look. And then the next thing you know, it goes from a sad tree to a brittle tree, and then just sort of crumbles into what can best be described as the cinders and ash from a fire pit.
Okay, that's effective.
Before he can say anything else, you start to hear a clapping.
Who's there?
That was very effective. Too bad it's going to be the last thing that you're ever going to affect.
And who are you?
Well, we'll start with a picture of what appears. Oh, bugger, I don't have this one on the handout yet. Give me a second. But what you see is a gentleman clad in full black armor.
Oh. You look special. Also, nice armor.
It will be the last armor that you see.
Really? Just lost my armor, you want to threaten me? I'm not in a good mood.
At this point, you look and both Zephyr and Ben are just like they look petrified because this is the person who is here.
Guys? Who's this and why is he being a little turd?
Run.
No. Not running from that.
You're as brave as you are stupid. They're smart. But I will at least give you the knowledge of knowing who is going to kill you. I'm disappointed, though, that you don't recognize me.
Why would I?
Maybe I'll give you a little help. And he pulls off, he sort of takes off the helmet, and remember the guy that stabbed the orb of light in the Bermuda Triangle?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, is him.
Yeah, I remember you now. The armor, sorry. Couldn't see your ugly face through the armor.
I have been rewarded greatly from the Master. Not only am I your doom, but I'm going to enjoy every minute of this. Although I do need to thank you. If it wasn't for you and your friends, I never would have been able to get close to the orb to release them. So I should thank you for that.
Yeah, that was a mistake. I won't make it again.
You're right, because you won't be alive to make it again. And you have correctly assumed initiative.
I saw the turn order pop. I would like to use a hero point to take initiative.
Well, you don't need to because your initiative beats his anyway.
That works.
Well, it's Ben's turn, and he's just looking at you as, you need to run now. You can't die here. And then he does something that sort of surprises you. Instead of running up and attacking him with a swallowtail, he spits. He's attacking him with acidic spittle.
Did you just spit at him?
And it lives in a puddle next to him.
Come on, that's just nasty.
And it definitely seems like it's bubbling and burning like it's acidic. But you're up.
Alright, so he knows I'm here. He knows about the medallion. But I'm going to try to trap him in the Menagerie of Stone. I'm going to try to trap his legs. and encase them in rocks.
Alrighty, this is resisted by dodge, overcome by strength. You will definitely hit him. Oh no, you won't hit him. For someone in giant bulky armor, he very, very, very adeptly dodges out of the way.
This isn't good.
Yeah, because his evasion is going to dodge him out of the way of that. I hate to do this, but you need to leave. So instead of attacking the guy in the armor, Zephyr is actually targeting you with the gust of wind. And of course I don't have it listed here because I forgot to. Darn it.
Technical difficulties, please stand by.
No, it's the same exact stuff as this, so just give me one second. So you can resist that with either strength or dodge. It is a move object effect. So, due to the compounding nature of Earth and Wind being opposites, he is unable to lift you this turn.
Fair.
The gentleman in the armor is like, "You should have let him, because now you're going to die." And at this point, he just manifests a very, very evil-looking sword. And he's attacking you with frostbiting slash. So,
can't wait to take that sword off of you.
Go ahead and give me a DC 29 toughness save. Son of a bleep! Nice 19! So the sword clanks off your earthen armor. It does leave a nice little icy gash in it, but you're unharmed.
Well, and before we get too far from that, hold on. Gotta pull up the right sheet here. I would like to use Weapon Break.
Weapon Break, you need to be defending for that to work.
Okay, fair enough. Nice sword.
I know, what I will say though is it wouldn't have worked anyway. The sword itself is indestructible.
Oh. Aww.
Yes, it's a very specific sword.
I mean, I'm going to take his sword from him, so I'm looking forward to having that sword.
Again, to try and buy time, you're not going to see him attack with the swallowtail again. Again, more spit. But he keeps missing, because I roll like poop! You're up.
Oh, I don't have that. Okay. Never mind. Alright, so let's see if we can make him decay. He appears to be human. Ish.
Unfortunately, you miss. He seems to have unnatural speed for someone in such bulky armor. At this point, Zephyr sort of looks at the scenario, looks at you, and just shakes his head. I'm sorry, you need to survive.
He hasn't hit me yet. I don't know what your problem is. I've got this.
Only inevitable. So you're going to get a hero point for me fiating this. But at this point, a massive tornado appears underneath you and just sends you flying off into the distance.
Ah!
You land with a nice audible thud. And then looking over to where you came from, you don't hear the sounds of any more fighting. You just see a bright flash of light sort of disappear off the island.
Oh, that hurt. Ben? Cypher? Anybody? Am I still in the same year? Did they send me back in time? Where am I? Now I'm on this island.
Everything you're still on the island. You got thrown probably a good, half mile away.
Can I sense any of their presence on the island?
You sense nothing but the crashing of waves on the shore.
Am I able to target an area with my sensing?
Tremor sense specifically is just generic.
Just generic, okay. So I'm going to try to teleport back to where I was.
It takes you a minute, but you think of the fact of, well, you've seen bad guys teleport before, so why can't you do it? And next thing you know, you sort of get absorbed into the ground and get spit up. And for flavor purposes, you get spit up and walk through the door you created.
Smash through the door.
Yep, exactly. The clearing's empty. There's nobody here.
What happened? Is there any evidence of the battle?
There is, evidence of the battle you guys have, but it looks as if after you left, nothing else happened. Give me a perception check. The one thing you do notice is that the entire time, a lot of the things in the area were specifically laid out in a pattern for a ritual circle. It seems as if right before everyone left, one of those was kicked out of place.
So Anton's going to pick it up and kind of investigate the pattern and set it where it should be.
That's going to trigger another vision from the medallion. And this one is a contingency spell. And it's not really a vision, it's just the medallion glows when you put it back in order. And the one thing that you know is that until you find the person who brought you here, you're stuck in this time period. The other thing that happens when the medallion glows is, we'll solve that mystery when we go to issue 2.5, Future Perfect. Thank you all very much for watching. Join us in a bit for issue 2.5, Future Perfect. Have a nice night.
Good night.